welcome, Panther Nation football fans, to another edition of Growlin' and Prowlin', where we talk about all things Carolina Panthers, from the postseason to the Super Bowl to the offseason, from the draft to OTAs to the preseason and to the shenanigans of the weekly regular season. Let the growlin' begin. Welcome back, all you Panther lovers. Thank you for joining us here for the final edition of 2023, our first year of Growlin' and Prowlin'. Thank you so much, you guys, for making this a memorable year, as we hope there are many more to come. As we get ready to close out 2023, well, this might not be the last one. This might not be the last one. We may be able to sneak one in before the New Year, you guys, but who knows? Just in case, you guys, we got a big matchup tomorrow. Need it be, we got to make an impression, even though the Jaguars will be without their starting quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. This is still a big game for us. We still need to make a big splash here. Don't know how much it's going to look, to the rest of the league, but I think ultimately this could be a step in the right direction for us, you guys. I really do, especially with Bryce coming off his first 300-yard game, and that Jaguar defense is no joke. They've got some really good players on that side of the football, and we've got to be on our A game. We really do. We have to be on our A game, and for the most part, this is a game we can win. Now, barring some serious issues, now we're not in a good spot to win. The Jaguars are still 6-point favorites to win this thing. Looking at what the Jaguars have, they're a very good football team. That they're going to be activating their, one of the top players, left tackle Robinson, as they're going to be introducing C.J. Beathard as their starting quarterback for this year, that is. Let me rephrase that. Outside of that, they don't have anything as far as injuries. They're going to have guys that are coming back, and their defense is fully, I wouldn't want to say operational, but they're fully strong. And guys like Devin Lloyd and Josh Allen. I'm stuttering because I'm trying to get these guys here because there's so many good players. Andre Cisco is one I really like. Tyson Campbell and Darius Williams. These guys make plays. A lot of the other guys, I don't want to say they're spot fillers, but there's, this Jaguar team, you never know which guy's going to burst your bubble on their side of the defense. You just don't know. And it's kind of like the Carolina Panthers, as good as Brian Burns is. By the way, Scott Fritter, you better figure out a way to do this. I said this on the show after our victory this past week. You got to figure something out. This is something that you're going to have to figure out. I don't care how you do it. It needs to be done. And quite frankly, it's not getting done fast enough. You're going to have to get it done. You've got Calvin Ridley, whom, if we've got J.C. Horn, who's questionable in this game, we've got a list of guys that's questionable. J.C. Horn's got a toe injury. Ike Ekwano's foot is questionable. Frankie Louvu has a quad, but he's been playing through it all year. We know for a fact, Troy Hill, whom I love this guy, he's out. Older player, still need him. He's a great tackler. As you see on the opening credits, guys, he's that good. He was in. I know it was the first game of the year, but Troy Hill, I love this guy. He sticks the tackles. He really does. He does a phenomenal job. Marquis Saints, I say we just shut him down. He's been having issues all season. Let him have the full season to get better and get stronger. I would say you can't even do that. Shut Equano down. Equano's got to show some stuff. I mean, he really does. But Calvin Ridley can't beat us. I think ultimately, no, I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying he should not beat us. We can't allow him to beat us is what I'm saying. Zay Jones, hey, another one is Etienne. They're going to want Travis Etienne to beat us. Now, I will say this. I'm more worried about Travis Etienne than I am Calvin Ridley with C.J. Beathard at the quarterback position. And they've got Tank Bigsby and Dearness Johnson in the backfield backing up Travis Etienne. But Travis Etienne is such a multi-dimensional back. You can't allow him to get loose. We're going to have to slow things down. And here's what Thomas Brown's going to have to do. Thomas Brown is going to have to not turn the ball over. What I'm saying is he's going to have to make really calculated throws tomorrow. We're going to have to be very patient. Very patient with that Jaguars defense, because here's the thing. C.J. Beathard has not shown me in his career that he is capable of winning a football game. Now, here's the thing. Coach Avero does not have a lot of film on C.J. Beathard. Not any what I would call recent video. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult to manipulate or navigate. But however, we still have to put the pressure on him. Coach Avero, we're going to have to send exotic blitzes. We need to figure out ways to get Frankie Louva loose. And Coach Avero, will you please find a way to get Jeremy Chin on the field in pass rushing situations, not just coverages. Bruh. I had to make a gripe about one thing on that defense other than finally figuring out how to stop the run is, why in the world do you not play Jeremy Chin in rundowns? Why are you only picking him in pass downs? So then every week we look at the PFF, he's only played 13 snaps, and guess what? He's not doing well because all he's doing is in coverage. Jeremy Chin is a very good tackler. What the Duh. You wouldn't even need a middle linebacker. You could rotate Frankie Louva into that position and put Jeremy Chin on the outside. Losing Shaq Thompson shouldn't have been that big of a deal. And then we have to go out and sign Deion Jones, who doesn't tackle very well, and he hasn't been what he was in Atlanta, which was a coverage linebacker. Thank Coach Avero. I mean, I'm giving you your props. I've been giving you your props all year, but that's the one mistake you've made is not putting Jeremy Chin on the field in running downs. Where are you going to find another utility knife like that guy? He doesn't have to be a great cover guy. He has to be good enough. So that teams respect the fact. They know they're throwing the football when Jeremy Chin's coming in, third down. Let's throw it at him. Blitz him some. I mean, you got to look yourself in the mirror when it comes to Jeremy Chin and think about your decisions and say,
you lost today, kid. It doesn't mean you have to like it.
Yes, you have to admit that you made a mistake with Jeremy Chin. You have to admit that you lost on that decision. And you need to make it right, because all preseason we talked about, there's going to be a variety of ways he's going to move Jeremy Chin around. You haven't done it.
What a dumbass.
You're not going to get that caliber of a player back. Now, I'm not saying he's an elite player. He has potential to be. But if you can't figure out what the hell he is, sorry, not trying to be mean, just saying. But looking at it like this defense could have been so much more. The fact is, everybody looks at Brian Burns and say, we got to stop him. But Derek Brown has been nothing short of a monster. A monster. And I see him doing the same thing again, because I think Jacksonville, this is just my look in seeing Jacksonville. I will say that their interior offensive line is not bad, but they're not great. Brandon Sheriff is a good one. Ezra Cleveland is okay. Tyler Shatley is a good one, but I think he's probably going to be lined up mostly on Brandon Sheriff. That is going to be a matchup. And then, of course, you have Anton Harris and Walker Little taking their shots at Brian Burns. Anton Harris is a good one. He's a good one. So that's going to be a battle all day. But as I said before, Derek Brown gets not enough credit. This is going to be one of those games that Thomas Brown, if he can muster up some reverses, with some of our elite speed guys. And guys, I'm going to say it just like this. What I worry about more than anything else is whether or not Coach Avero is going to understand that he needs to, without a shadow of a doubt, he needs to get Jeremy Chin more involved. People are sitting there saying what they got to say, and I don't care. Now, I know people are going to say, why am I not talking a lot about what we need to do on the offense? This is going to sound crazy, but I'm slowly starting to not worry about the offense, because what I'm starting to really look at is I'm looking at how the Carolina Panthers offense with Thomas Brown are starting to understand what they need to do. I enjoyed it last week, but here's where the crazy spot we got to put ourselves into. We have to put ourselves in a situation to understand we don't have a quarterback that needs a number one. Now, I will say Jacksonville does have two really good corners, so it's going to be really tough for DJ Shark, Adam Thielen, or Mingo if these guys are lined up outside. This is going to be a game with whoever's lined up on the inside. Thomas Brown's going to have to get creative. Now, this will also bode well for guys like Tommy Tremble, who is now a starter. Steven Sullivan, who's his backup. Ian Thomas, sorry, bro, I love you, but he's on the outside looking in. But to me, Steven Sullivan could very well go into that wide receiver room because, guys, I'm going to tell you something. This guy's got some wheels for his size. This guy is 6'5", 245, but he's got some wheels. Thomas Brown, if you can get this guy on the field along with Tommy Tremble, listen, we don't have to have a sure number of wide receivers. And here's the other thing. Terrace Marshall, we need to figure, listen, this thing ain't over with him. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Okay? He's a guy that can go up and get it. We need to figure out ways to take shots down the field. And the thing is, encourage Bryce to take those shots. Don't worry about the completion. Listen, I would rather you have an interception down the field than on pickouts that you know are going back for 6. And we need to institute more bootlegs, rollouts and bootlegs, so that you can get these routes coming across the field, because you got guys like Amir Smith-Marset who's got wheels to burn, Jonathan Mingo wheels to burn, and even Terrace Marshall's got wheels to burn. I mean, this is ridiculous. Jonathan Mingo, DJ Shark, all of these guys, even Tommy Tremble, these guys have speed. We need to have 3 routes crossing the field. Tight end. Wide out. Deeper crosser on the wide out. It's what we need. And of course, Mike Strachan, 6'5". We've got 3 really big wide receivers, 4 if you count, 5 if you count our tight ends. We need to take advantage of their size. The same thing the Falcons don't do with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. We don't need to get stuck into that. We have gotten it figured out. Now, the only thing is our guard position. If our guard play gets better and Ekwonu continues to block well, we should be okay. Now, Allen's going to be a nightmare off that edge. Ekwonu and Moten, they're going to have a busy day with these two. But if they can protect that edge, we should not have any problems. We should be able to run the football. Jacksonville's a team you can run the ball against. But I look at us taking this game with no Trevor Lawrence. And I think it's going to be a close one, but I also think that the Panthers are going to be able to do what they need to do, make plays. I think Bryce could go over 300 yet again. But I think this is going to be a game where we run the ball and try to be patient. I think we take our shots. I don't think DJ Shark, I would like to see this, but I think it's going to be a Mingo, Thielen, possibly it's another Tommy Tremble or even a Steven Sullivan game. But I'm just hoping that Thomas Brown learns from last week as well as Bryce Young that we have to take our shots to guys like DJ Shark. Mike Strachan needs to get in. And like I said, you're looking at the depth chart. It changed. Strachan is now on the second team. And it's looking, Smith-Marset is locked in. They've got 6 wide receivers on the roster. And people are going to say, well, that's normal. No, it's not normal. Normally you have 8. And they're going with Steven Sullivan and Tommy Tremble. Tommy Tremble is the starter. That's what I want to see. I want you guys to remember, I said Tommy Tremble was a talent. There were a lot of writers, Cat Crave, Panther News, all these guys were saying that Tommy Tremble's been a disappointment. I've said this before, and you will hear me say this again, guys. Receivers cannot be judged by the lack of production unless the quarterback is throwing them the ball and they're either dropping it or they're just not making the play. They're just not making the play. And guys, that's how I feel. It's not always about getting open. It's about the quarterback throwing it up there, giving you a shot. And it can be about play calling. The type of plays they call. This offense has finally gotten away from Adam Thielen's the only guy that can make a play on this team. And look what's happening. Look what's happening. But I think the Panthers win this game by 6. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be able to muster up enough offense with Trevor Lawrence not being in uniform. And most folks don't know this will be his first missed game. That since he came into the league. And we hope he gets better. We don't like to see opposing superstars hurt. We want to always have the other team's best. Even though we want the win, we always want the other team's best. But guys, let me know what you guys think. I will have a show coming out in a couple of weeks that will talk about and revisit the trade that is about to be a year old, which was the Bryce Young trade for all of our picks. And I'll tell you why we lost that trade. It has nothing to do with Bryce Young. You'll be surprised at my answer. But guys, make sure you go to the Facebook page. Let us know what you guys think. And I'm going to have a poll up as well after this show that says, who do you think the Carolina Panthers offensive MVP and defensive MVP for the season was? And I will let you guys know what the results of that are on our upcoming show when we do the Scott Fitterer, what I call disaster move for Bryce Young. And it has nothing to do with Bryce Young's performance, or even if he becomes a Hall of Famer. This was still a disastrous move, and I'll let you guys know why. But until the next time, you guys, keep prowling the airwaves and keep growling out. Keep pounding.